Hey everyone, and welcome to a Guess the Rank video, where we're moving over here to the Observe tab, and we are filtering by 2 players, so we can find ourselves a 1v1 on the ranked ladder to spectate, and then throughout the game we're going to be trying to guess what rank these players are. We're going to scroll down here a little bit to find a game that is underway, and let's see what we got. Himeyama, English versus Japan, has potential. Again, you want to be focusing on matches that are in the ranked ladder pool, so we have a higher chance of people actually having a rank in 1v1. How about a Gorge? A Gorge with the Rus and the Delhi. 2 civilizations that I ranked too low in my tier list video the other day, according to the comments section. So let's see, when they face off head to head, who takes the victory. I think this is what we're doing. We're going to UK West with Yo-Yo25 as the Delhi and Favenmen as the Rus. Let's jump right into it. This matchup, I think, really favors the Rus. I think that the Rus has the ability to get up to castle very quickly. I think that the Rus has the ability to kind of build up their force very quickly. They're also much, much faster on the professional scout side, as Delhi have to sit back and wait for that technology to be researched. So I think that Favenmen technically has the advantage in the matchup, and on Gorge, Rus on Gorge is extremely strong with that back wood line. But let's jump right in here. We are live. We are following these guys as they play right now on the ranked ladder, currently recording this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so on the Delhi side, we have a quick jump out to the sheep, and then to the tree, followed by a mosque and an immediate mining camp. This is not the build order that I tend to go for with Delhi. Also, a little bit of idle villagers here, not rallying them onto the food, and then not actually using the garrison and ungarrison command to save a little bit of time there after that mistake. We're just trying to pick up all these little key details here at this point. One quick run to the wood here and then running for the mill is exactly what you would expect. Taking a second here to queue these upgrades. You want to queue them immediately because Delhi researches them for free. You want to get that 2-minute and 2-minute countdown timer started right away, but it is not currently happening. We might have ourselves an interesting game on our hands. Let's jump over here to the Rus side of things to see that we are seeing a very traditional 2 hunting cabin open from them. Doing one quick run to the wood here and then jumping in and getting some food as well. In terms of scouts, I'm just looking down here. We have the 1 scout out on this side. Do we have a 2nd scout being trained? Yes, we do. So far, I am liking the play from our Rus player Favenmen a little bit more than what we're seeing so far from the Delhi, but who is to say? Got the house. Nobody's going to get housed at this point, and the upgrades are now coming through. So, all is well. We can speed things up a little bit here as we're just running through the early game. Rus is going to be able to pick up some additional sheep along this side, potentially. That looks like our Delhi player may have missed. And Delhi can go quite aggressive on the scouting pattern in this map because they can just run all the way around. They're on the berries. There's no rush for them to jump back. Immediately jumping out of the wood. And here we go. We're going with the Dome of the Faith. Very typical of the current meta. And on this side, we have the Golden Gate. Now, I tend to like to build the Golden Gate, if possible, 2 tiles further out, just so that there is room for farms around that town center at a later point. You know, it's just a little bit more walking time for these 4 villagers, but it's not too bad, so I think it's worth doing. These guys jumping in here do have the wood for a lumber camp, but at the moment maybe too busy microing multiple scouts on multiple fronts. Definitely a good sheep haul. And they are long-distance lumber camp chopping for a little bit. 2 up on the Dome of the Faith is a much slower age up than what I tend to do with the Delhi as well. And there's already so many on wood. Very interesting build order here. It's going to delay the age up pretty significantly. Is able to get the forestry starting to research though, so that's a good news on getting that lumber camp earlier. I like to chop all the straggler trees, or at least 2 of them, and then jump into the lumber camp just so you save yourself some wood. And we have the Rus scout being annoying, trying to burn this down, whacking away at a villager, and it is just outside the reach. Ooh, a very aggressive pull of 7 villagers saying, "Get off my back, buddy." That's crazy. That is so much idle time. I would not recommend you pull half of your villagers to chase away a single scout. Luckily, he does re-rally them onto the closer wood trees to the lumber camp. But man, oh man, that was aggressive. Really, really did not want that danger ping going off over and over again. A little tip here for the sheep. If you double click on your sheep here and then right click in this location, they're going to walk and spread themselves nice and thinly along this edge of the town center. It just will make it so there's less walking movement for your villagers. Just a small optimization, but something I like to do when there's just a bit of downtime. Taking up all those berries, getting them off of the field, and Roos already prepared for the professional scouts, already in age 2, and this is the thing about going up with 2 villagers, you're really delaying yourself. 6, 7 on gold? What is this man cooking in the kitchen? That's what I want to know. Manages to get a couple sheep back as well. Moved a ton of the villagers off of the wood to the gold. Rallying up those upgrades. Not choosing to go for professional scouts at all. He's saying, you want the deer? Take them. I don't care. Is it a fast castle play, potentially? I mean, it might make sense. To give the Roos all of the deer completely uncontested, I think is a bit of a mistake. I mean, maybe. Who's to say? I'm currently casting 2 Conqueror 3 players, and I have no idea what's going on. What are your guesses down in the comments, though? So far, I'm thinking this is a little bit lower in terms of skill level, like maybe high gold. This has been a pretty clean build order from the Roos player, though. Favenman is impressing me. Now coming up with the Wooden Fortress to boost the lumber camp. And the gather rate for the wood is very smart. Moving up to the secondary berry patch. Saving these sheep for a later date, which makes sense. Getting the blacksmith up just so those upgrades can start to be worked on immediately. But it does seem like no military production, that this is just a strict fast castle. Going with Dome of the Faith. But then, oh no, queuing up All-Seeing Eye in the Dome of the Faith itself. So that means that the scholars are delayed coming out. You have to wait for this to research in its entirety. I tend to want to focus on using this building here to do all of the research so that the scholars can start to be pumped in. This is just delaying the research time of all those technologies. And Roos is grabbing the deer and bringing them home. And again, when you're doing that pro scouts, you do want to, as soon as you possibly can, move your villagers onto those deer carcasses so you can take advantage of that increased gather rate, because I know that survival techniques has been researched on this front. And focusing on a couple different deer packs at the same time. This one's the really far one. Probably saved that for last, but is choosing to steal away some deer from the Delhi player in this part of the map. All right, let's... And here we go. A little bit of idle villagers here. And moving up with the House of Learning, immediately sending the one scholar that has currently been trained out to the sacred sites to get that additional gold. Still mining gold. Is that where the scholar's going, or is the scholar moving for the relics? This scholar is rallied to this gold mine. I have questions. Please provide me with answers. Why? There's no relic over here. All the relics are on this side. Does manage to pick up this one immediately, which is great. Walks through that one and around to this guy. Ooh, I like the rally off to the side so he doesn't walk across the sacred site. That's a nice little extra moment here. Yeah, this guy was definitely misrallied to the far side. Sees that this is where the relic is. But is going to be able to grab essentially probably 5 relics. Has 2 right now. But if 5 relics is able to be secured by the Delhi player, then that's good news. Is it immediately into elephants? No, we're upgrading to veteran Ghazi Raiders with this. And we're upgrading to a veteran or hardened spearman first on this side. And it is up with the high trade house with a pretty significant cohort of trees being gathered up. 145 here, and the horse archer mass is beginning. I think that maybe this monastery is too late based on the rush to castle, but I definitely think the Roos has an advantage here, and could potentially press that advantage, raiding over here on these berries. Instead, recognizing that all of the relics are gone. All 5 have been secured by our Delhi player, so maybe the fast castle rush is the play. now going crazy with the production, wanting to get a bunch of stuff out. Building some walls for a little bit more defense. An outpost at the front just to be able to see a little bit better. What's the plan for these villagers here? One villager building this, and then I think they've moved back onto the sheep. No, where are you gathering your food, sir? Only 9 on berries, so it's just these berries here that are being taken care of. Securing these sacred sites with the warrior monks and just a mass of spearman, crossbow, horse archer. And starting to secure these deer on the backside, meaning that the Delhi player is potentially going to be hurting for food soon. The score is telling a different story, saying that Yo-Yo25 is in the lead, but I am not so sure. Recognizing with this spear and crossbow combination that the elephants are likely going to be coming up, and his whole economy is just set up right here in the center. Sacred site victory is approaching. Are we going to get to that point? I'm not sure. Veteran Ghazi Raiders, there's no raiding whatsoever happening on either side here. I'm not sure that our Delhi player even knows that the High Trade House exists over on this side. Being very, very conservative and now moving out onto the far berries on this side. And the Rus player has essentially managed to gather all of the deer and is continuing to gather more deer from the High Trade House as well. 2 hunting cabins. The passive gold for this civilization right now is crazy. 600 gold, not even touching the gold mine, if I'm correct. It's right here, has not even been touched so far. This civilization is wild. Okay. At this point, Favinman has double the army. And I think this is just maybe a clinical Rus showing. Proof that my ranking of Rus as A tier was simply incorrect. Standing the army right here, recognizing that there's no need to necessarily dive under this tower in this castle. You need to wait for the Delhi player to come to you, because the victory condition is ticking down. 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. A little bit of raiding happening. 2 Ghazi Raiders, or 3 I should say, making an appearance in the base. And a very slow reaction in terms of ungarrisoning these villagers to get back to work. Building up the siege now with a single trebuchet and a mangonel. Just recognizing that all you gotta do is poke. Little bits of poke. Coming forward with 2 crossbows just to take a look. Recognizing now that there is a keep here. Okay, these Ghazi are decapping the sacred site. Is Favinman going to have enough of a reaction to be able to pick this back up? Or is this victory condition going to go down without a fight? It's a slow reaction from Rus. And that means this is decapped. This was the victory condition. Oh, 2 crossbows. They successfully bait them off of the sacred site. I spoke too soon. Kills both of them, immediately hops back on. No reaction whatsoever from Favinman. And this is going away. So what I like to do when playing as the Rus, very ineffectively I might add, don't take a look at my match history, please. Build a tower here, build a tower here, build a tower here. Use the golden gate to purchase a little bit of stone. All you need to do is hit this D button 3 times on your keyboard, and you have enough for 3 springled emplacements. And that is a massive dissuade ability from getting somebody up onto those sacred sites. And here we go. Village fortress being researched. How many scholars do we have at this point? 5 scholars in here, 5 in here, so has been able to build up those scholar numbers also into the production buildings as well, so I think 8 scholars in total. Also 8 worker kills. I don't think I recognized how successful that raid with the Ghazis was. 8 worker kills definitely brings Delhi back into this game. I was kind of fast forwarding saying this is all she wrote, surely this is it, but now that this has been decapped, not recaptured, I think Delhi might have a chance. Getting all of these research techs for free, a Rus player not with a lot of their eco upgrades or their blacksmith upgrades. And this can now train villagers. And definitely want to be using that to increase your villager lead if you remember to do so. A decent farm transition coming in. Coming over here for some more stone. And some more stone. Really, really moving towards that stone. 2,000 stone in the bank. For what reason? This is a classic. Build my army, sit here, and wait. Build my army, sit here, and wait. And at some point they're going to clash, and someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And the game will be over. I'm beginning to move a little bit further down on the gold section. This might be going towards high silver. Successfully utilizing the villager production from this keep is good, but you want to have them rallied somewhere. Even this stone could be good. Then again, you have 2,000 stone in the bank. I mean, that's so many trebuchets. This is simply just going to go down. You're not going to be able to out heal this. I mean, unless you wanted to use all of that stone for a particular reason. I don't know. It's still looking like a very large military lead for Rus. Recognizing now that it's danger time, you got to move out. The castle does go down. A bunch of elephants, and this is the big fight, the one we've been waiting for. How does this all end? Rus, I think, has the advantage, manages to kill one trebuchet. It's down. The Mangonel in the back firing down on these spearmen. The elephants, are they going to have enough to deal with this crossbow, spear, man-at-arm? Even the horse archers, which were never used for raiding, only used to stand here. We are doing a straight-up walk-in, right-click fight here. Delhi recognizing that that was not the fight they wanted to take, bringing out the scholars to buy a little bit of space with these Wololo. And another one. I mean, these tower elephants are really causing problems, though. This game isn't over, baby. I love this. Manages to kill the siege. That elephant is going down now without anything else to focus on or to take the fire. These elephants are going to get absolutely brutalized, massacred off of the face of the earth. Elephant carcasses strewn amongst the rubble of the trebuchets. And now it is looking dire for our Delhi player. He needs to use the 3,000 stone, build another castle, but instead, as I suggested, said, hey, let's fight. I lost. Game over. Okay. I want to compliment the Rus player here for their build order. I think it was very well executed. Clearly well practiced by Favenman. Yo-Yo25 had an interesting idea going straight castle and then grabbing all 5 relics to give himself an eco advantage there, and then using the Ghazi, very effective raid. So just goes to show you that when the skill levels are maybe a little bit lower, let's take a look at that villager count actually. Yeah, and also Favenman not really at a certain point continuing, I'm not sure why I swapped pages there, not continuing to produce villagers. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, Yo-Yo25 made some good decisions. I think could work on the build order a little bit better at the beginning. Definitely making sure that those scholars coming from the Dome of the Faith into the monasteries isn't blocked by one of those long researching technologies. But great consistent villager production. Getting up that castle and then getting the village fortresses, also getting additional eco leads there. And just improving and doing a little bit more raiding means that this could have been in his hands. The only problem we have here is we're sitting with 4,200 stone gathered and 1 keep built. So that could have absolutely been transitioned into how many more elephants, how many more tower elephants, how many more mangonels or springalds even to deal with those spearmen and man-at-arms. And you just change around those resources a little bit, and I think this match could have gone very differently. But we know the winner and the loser of this match. Doesn't matter. Who's the winner and the loser of the guesses? So you have your guess in mind. I have mine. Let's jump over to AoE4 World to see what rank these players are. Okay, so my guess is that the Delhi player Yo-Yo25 was Silver 3, and I think that Favenman is a talented Gold 1 player. That's my guess, but let's see if that's true. Have your guess in mind. Yo-Yo25 is our first one here, and we're rolling in. Yo-Yo25 is Platinum 1. Yo-Yo, I'm doing you dirty, man. I'm so sorry. Platinum 1 from Yo-Yo. Gold 2 and highest Platinum 1 last season. So definitely ranking them a little bit low here. So that's maybe my bad. Sorry about that. And Favenman, I guessed Gold 1. But if he was the victor, surely it's higher. They're both Platinum 1 players. Clearly, I'm still learning what the skill levels are in this game. Platinum 1 as the peak for both of these players this season. I really, as I said, was impressed by Favenman's build order and really great job massing up an army and being ready to take that big fight. Was surprised by the lack of response to the decapping of the Sacred Site and the fact that that very much could have been a win condition. Instead, I think just kind of viewing that more as just passive gold. So definitely went a little bit lower on that front. And Yo-Yo 25, I feel bad, but definitely felt like the build order at the beginning was a little bit random, just some mistakes. Delhi's a hard civilization to play. Was able to secure all 5 relics though, so clearly had done the scouting, knew exactly what he wanted to do with that side of things. But at the end of the day, just ended up banking too much stone and not having enough of an army to field that, and wasn't able to push in and make the fight happen while his castle was still up. So guessing too low, guessing too high. I'm never guessing correct, but let me know how you guys did in the comments. That was a fun game. It's always interesting to see different skill levels. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back with some more Guess the Rank and guides and tier lists and you name it going forward. But in the meantime, thank you very, very much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.